All right, folks, we are back, and we are back better than ever. We got the big man on the ones and twos. How you doing there, Big Rob?
Good, yourself, Tom.
Good, my man. You had yourself a weekend.
I did have myself a weekend. It was a good weekend.
How was easy?
Arizona was awesome. It was a great trip. Greyhawk Raptor course was awesome. We got to play. Obviously, NCAA's finished up on Wednesday. They had the course closed on Thursday, and then we got to play Friday. It was great. Like, we got paired up with two other guys. One happened to be from Hinsdale. He actually marshaled for the guys tournament a couple of days. He said it was awesome. It was kind of funny because when we teed off, he's like, after he saw the first hole, he was like, it's the same pin placements. I was like, oh crap, here we go. And then the other guy from Ohio, he lives on the Talon course. So he was like, when we were teeing off, he's like, you guys are in for a treat if you've never played this before. And we were. It was awesome. Side note, the guy that was a marshal or worked the tournament, it was kind of crazy, kind of cool, actually. He was talking to some of the people from NCAA, and I guess it's going to be at Greyhawk again one more year, and then it goes to San Diego. And then after that, NCAA is going to pick one spot and just keep it there moving forward, not jump from course to course. And Greyhawk is obviously hoping they are the ones that get it because, they pretty much have that thing down pat on how they run it. So, but the course itself was awesome. I mean, the rough was insane. Like, I don't think I've ever played in thick rough like that before. It was just, the club couldn't get through it, just got stuck in it. Like I was telling you, if you guys could picture hole 18 where they had the NCAA logo spray painted into the grass, like they barely took it off. So the setup was the exact same. But yeah, and then like the greens fastest I think we've played on before. It was funny. The guy from Ohio that lives on the course, he was like, as soon as me or Vince would tap it, he'd be like, oh, that's gone. And we'd be like, what?
Thanks,
it's
buddy.
Gone. Yeah, right. He's, so, but he gave us tips, but the greens were fast, but yet the undulation was cool because you got to play with like different types of chips, stuff like that. And it was cool to see some of the holes that you watched the kids play, and then you got to play for like 17, trying to go for it. And I came up short in the left bunker. But yeah, that course I would highly recommend because it was a awesome experience to do that.
How long were you out there for?
How long? What do you
mean? Three nights?
3 nights, 4 days. And then we played Weekopa on Saturday morning. And that was fun. That was more like a resort course. That the rough and the greens are more like, more forgiving for us. More easy to play, a little bit slower. But that was fun. I mean, a lot of blind shots. I was laughing though, because you see all these balls right in the within the desert. And you're like, you think to yourself, well, why aren't people going in to get them? And then they're like, well, you got snakes and stuff like that. So that's why people leave them. I just never, so it was funny to see that. But no, that was a lot of blind shots on that course. First time playing it, but I did enjoy that as well. That was played better on that because it was more forgiving compared to Greyhawk. And then we got paired up with two guys that actually live out there kind of around our age. But it was like interesting talking to them because, we all know that golf has boomed because of COVID and a lot more people are playing and these courses are charging a lot more. But, it's interesting to hear it from a different side of things in a different state where right now, this is their off season in Arizona because it's so hot. So courses, they don't play that much. They play more in the, in their peak season. But the problem now is their peak season, because I think we paid like $90 or so, $100 for Weekopa before taxes. And, I thought that was cheap because I've heard, 200 over plus in prime season. And the one guy was like, yeah, I only play in the off season now the last 2 years because, these courses that usually charge, $75 during peak season are charging well north of 150. And it's just crazy. So it was interesting to hear that, from other people in different states, like I said. But the one thing that was really cool was like their whole practice facilities, like their ranges, their chipping greens, their putting greens. It was like all top notch, man. You could just sit there for hours and just do that instead, you know?
Oh yeah. Did you play Sunday?
We did not. The wives wanted to do the pool and relax, so we kind of just did that and hung out. But no, I mean, like I said, if you're out there and you're looking for a course, I'd highly recommend Greyhawk. That was in the Raptor course. I'm sure Talon is just as good, but Raptor was a lot of fun to play.
Yeah. Well, that was very nice of you guys to meet the wives in the middle, and
yeah, it was. Yeah, we would, we play in the morning, then go meet them back at the pool, and then get up the next day, get up, play in the morning, meet them at the pool. But by the end of each round, I just don't understand how people play after noon, like out there right now, because it was like 105, 108, and I was like, big man was sweating, dude, just pouring down the side of my face, freaking pounding water. It was crazy.
Oof. Yeah, that's not ideal big man weather.
No.
But AZ nonetheless is great golf. Super fun. I was going to say the only thing that I found out after playing desert golf is I didn't know this going in, but coming out, I certainly recognized that looking at my clubs on the way home is just like the difference in like punching out. So like my 7-iron and my pitching wedge was toast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the bottom of the club of the sole of the club was just smoking cinnamon rocks and
yep. And I was surprised by their sand too. Like Greyhawk sand was good, but like Weekopa's sand was like garbage, absolutely garbage. It sucked. But
all right. Speaking of suck, Rob, I played golf this weekend.
I was just about to ask. Did you get some golf?
Oh yeah, it was bad, man. It was like I never picked up a club, before. Played Saturday in Michigan at Beaches. Great little track, love it.
Yeah, that is a great course.
Didn't play like awful there, just hit like a lot of bad shots. And then I played yesterday at our favorite course, Heritage Bluffs, and I did a disservice, Rob. I went out there just like hung over and from the long weekend. And
so did you, not to backtrack, but did you start the party while you're golfing and continue to the wedding?
Yes, on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah. And then actually yesterday I had to continue it at the course to feel like somewhat normal. It was
the hair of the dog.
Yeah, it was, I was just sleep deprived. Anyways, no excuses. Just hit some dumb shots, got in a lot of trouble. Took a 9 on 3, and that was pretty much the end of that round. Had great company though. Played with Hook and Swains and Makaitis. All of them, shot in the low mid 70s, low mid and high 70s. So it was kind of infuriating seeing
Sure.
that, and then just sitting in the cart like a lump of shit. Like not bringing anything to the
thing. Right.
I was happy to get out. It almost felt like I played too much golf, which was crazy to think, because I went from literally playing 0 golf in 2 weeks to playing twice this weekend. And I'm like, holy cow. So it's raining cats and dogs out, Rob.
We got a little drizzle out here in the suburbs.
It's pounding here.
Oh yeah.
It's come down hard. It's a great night though. Nothing better.
How was the speaking of rain, how was the rough at Heritage?
I didn't think it was anything crazy. Now that, you know what, I didn't even think about it after we had our last pod. Someone was bitching about it. Like, I mean, it was long, but like, it wasn't, over exaggerated long.
Sure.
It was fine. It was playable. Course was in great shape. No complaints there. Greens are rolling really true. Dude, the clubhouse is awesome.
Is it really?
Yeah. Have you been yet?
Not yet.
Dude, so sick. It's got 2 garage doors that were just like wide open. It's just it's a vibe for sure.
Oh, that's awesome.
Patio's got like real nice lights. Yeah, it's super well done. There was people hanging out when we got done, and we teed off at like, speaking of, so we teed off at 2:30,
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Sunday evening golf is super underrated. Oh my God.
Oh, I bet.
Besides the people that were walking, maybe like ahead of us, and then there was a group ahead of them. It was kind of slow, but I mean, there was not one person behind us. It just felt like we were the only ones out there.
Yeah.
And we were getting some really nice views. Yeah, I haven't played a Sunday like twilight round in seriously probably like 3 or 4 years. So I was loving that. I don't know if it was because the state I was in or what, but I was feeling good. Um, Speaking of golf, did you catch any of the Memorial?
I did. When we got done with the pool yesterday, I caught pretty much the end of the tournament. A little bit on. Well, I didn't see anything on Saturday because I was dumbfounded by Billy Ho being in lead, having a 5-shot lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like watching it yesterday, I thought he was going to give it away. To be honest.
Yeah, after I saw the same Billy leading 4 or 5 stroke lead going into Sunday, I'm like, I have no interest in watching this. Yeah. I knew I was going to be on the road and golfing anyway, so I wouldn't see it. But I was hoping he would shit the bed.
Yeah,
because he's literally now that. Well, actually, I was never a big hater of Na. I mean, I get like, his whole thing with putting and like slow pace, but like I've kind of enjoyed him, just like personality wise. So Billy Ho is definitely my least favorite player on tour.
Yeah, that's got to be such a mind fuck to sit there and try to play with that, watching that pre-shot routine. I mean, I know Spieth is bad too, but his putting, like how he like tiptoes into it. That gets irritating.
Can you imagine a foursome with like Spieth, Billy Ho, and Na? That foursome would just be absolutely brutal. But speaking of, Rob, there's big news, and there's big news out of the LIV Golf Tour.
Yeah, it was a fun follow this weekend. That whole not resigning and seeing that, all the stuff behind that, and he did it out because obviously now he can get his pension when it's time and everything like that. That was crazy.
I just heard Sergio, Brandon Grace, and your boy Westy just all jumped on that same train.
Yeah, I saw that tweet before we just jumped on that. I thought it was Ian too that did it as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a good move. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I don't think this thing is just going to crumble after like a year or two, right? I think it's going to happen no matter what. Golf Twitter was insane this weekend. Once that news broke, it was bananas, dude.
Yeah, Grayson Murray is pretty funny. His tweet back to now.
Yeah, I mean, that guy, I don't even know why he's talking shit, though. I mean, make a cut and make some money and then talk shit to a guy who's earned more than you.
Right. I mean, but this whole time, they've had their lawyers and sitting there obviously planning this out, right? So, like, to me, when Na resigned, when they first talked about it, it was more like, oh, yeah, so he can come back one day type deal thing. But I would have never put 2 and 2 together about their pension. Makes complete sense,
Yeah, I mean, it's a smart move. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. Let's rewind though. Let's go back to LIV Golf breaking the internet, the interwebs with their initial 48-man roster, and then you still had the 6 guys, that were waiting. Any surprises to you besides, was DJ a surprise to you?
DJ was a huge surprise to me.
Yeah, same.
But then you sit there and listen to Shotgun Start. I'm talking about Gooch and stuff like that. That was kind of a surprise. But then you also, how they talked about it, you got to think like, is he going to make what he's making, whatever his deal might be, right? Whatever they paid. Is he going to make that on tour? You don't know that. I mean,
right. It's no guarantee. And yeah, I think Gooch was probably, besides Gooch, the 3Ms were also the biggest surprise to me. But Gooch, being as young as he is and kind of up and coming, that was a shocker. DJ, for whatever reason, like I wasn't shocked when I saw his name, just because I could kind of see him playing that card. But Gooch was, because he's in his 20s, he's kind of up and coming. But like you said, it's not guaranteed. I don't know what he got initially.
Yeah, I think the thing that like again, Brendan and Andy were talking about were like, I think they've heard like some of these guys like Gooch are getting part of their deal might be guaranteed starts. So what if this thing blows up and it's a huge success for like the next few years and you got more guys coming in? Well, at least they're guaranteed a spot to play in it type deal thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I thought it was crazy too, that one AM that was on ASU and was playing in the championship on Wednesday,
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything. They didn't obviously bring it up in coverage, what I was listening to, but that was just crazy to think about too. You had a college player.
Poig. Yeah. Poog.
What, sorry?
What's it like, Poog or Poig?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's playing for the NCAA championship, and then, he's off to going to go play in the LIV Tour type deal thing.
I mean, supposedly he got thrown $6 million. I mean, that's hard to.
Yeah. I mean,
and then you got the 15-year-old, the kid who played in he qualified to play, or he did play in the U.S. Open this past year, right? Last year, the 15-year-old.
I didn't realize it was a 15-year-old, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think he's 16 I think he's 16 right now. He was 15 last year when he got into the U.S. Open. It's Puig, and then that other, it's like Poig, one's Puig, both of them, and then this 15 or 16-year-old. That's what I'm saying. Like, going back, if they start picking off guys this young, that's when it becomes a real problem. Like, for instance, Gooch. Like, if 5 or 6 other guys in their mid to low 20s start seeing like, hey, that's a lot of dough, and they jump ship, the PGA Tour is in a serious issue.
Yeah,
that's where things get interesting. These older guys are just, kind of keeping it afloat in their names to have on the event card, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as the years go on, they start picking off AMs or guys, who are thinking about going to college, but are, they don't necessarily have to. They go straight to the KFT, or, why wouldn't you? That's a super hard decision, especially when you're guaranteed, $6 million up front, and then you're guaranteed 124 for last place.
Yeah, right. It's crazy. And
so,
I hope, or, one person isn't going to be in last place. The same person isn't going to be in last place every single time. So it's just like, but is it going to be YouTube? Are they going to stream it? Or?
That's what I've heard.
Okay.
But other than that, you had recently, obviously everybody knew Phil, but we're kind of, unsure about Phil. He finally came out and with a press release. Now, the last one, Ricky, is Ricky in or out?
The last I saw, because he's qualified for the U.S. Open, I thought that he was still weighing his options type deal thing. But
yeah, well, just the whole intrigue thing. Yeah, I think that's kind of a giveaway. I think maybe he's just waiting.
My question though too is like, is TaylorMade going to stick with DJ? Is Adidas going to stick with DJ? Is Puma going to stick with Ricky if he goes over there? It's
a good question. I bet you. I think golf brands are different, just because golf's playing. It's being played all around the world.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, their sponsors, DJ already lost
RBC.
Yeah, which is, I get, because this week's the RBC.
Right.
But other than that, I don't get it, because RBC deals with the Saudis. So the whole thing to me was kind of like LOL. But yeah, I think Ricky's for sure gone.
Are you shocked that Phil got more than DJ?
No, only because I think a lot of that had to do with probably Phil recruiting. I bet you that was tied into it. The initial contract, which everybody, kind of, which ultimately led to Phil's demise. Everybody heard he was getting like $80 million to come recruit. Now that's kind of been, put to sleep, and Phil got beat up pretty bad. Now he's at 200 million.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that contract probably got renegotiated, and
Right.
he probably got X for bringing. Who knows? Maybe he was responsible for DJ or
Sure.
Gooch or somebody. But no, I'm not really surprised by that. And here's the other thing too. Like I was thinking, I'm like, is this whole thing gonna kind of not really blow over, but like these guys are gonna be able to play in the majors, right? So like we're not seeing DJ and Phil and some of these other guys at the RBC, which who knows if they'd even play in. I'm sure they would, but like, are they really missing out on a ton of golf?
So is it for sure that they get to continue with the majors moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, the PGA Tour can't keep them out of majors.
I mean, well, the Masters can put a say.
Well, the board can, yes.
Yeah.
But, and then
obviously they could qualify for the U.S. Open and for the Open.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. If these guys, and then on the flip side of that, I'm like, I wonder if they're going to catch any heat from their colleagues. Like, oh, because you're not on this tour, I'm going to kind of going to treat you differently.
Yeah, I don't know. I think too, like, what's event 2 or event 3 going to look like after if the first one goes off well,
Right.
And some of these guys see that you could take the money and really have no repercussion if you're just in it for the money and playing majors, right?
Well, that's the other thing too, is I think there's probably a lot of the guys that you're talking about. I bet you there's quite a few of them, like kind of just sitting back, waiting and saying, okay, the coast is clear. All right. Well, I'm jumping too.
So, but my other question too is I wonder when PGA, when they're going to sit there and announce what the punishment is. Are they going to wait till after the first event is done? Or are they going to do it at the end of this week, right before they tee off, type deal thing?
So I don't know if it was official, but did you hear the initial punishment? They'd have
I heard October to December type deal thing.
Yeah,
is that the one you're talking about?
A 3-month suspension prior to
you could serve it October to December when it really doesn't mean anything.
Exactly, and that's kind of why people were saying, well, that's why the PGA Tour is the PGA Tour, because that punishment is god awful soft.
Right.
I mean, who's watching those tournaments anyway? It's right before the wraparound.
I was laughing. I forgot who tweeted today, but like they're ripping on that the events don't have names, right? It's just live event 1, live event 2.
Yeah. Well, that, and there's a shotgun start for a 48-man field. Like what?
Right. And they got to draft teams right on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
I did see pictures of DJ out on the range today, and I thought it was funny. Just like the signs that they have, it just said.
I was trying to see what his hat was. I couldn't see. I only saw the side. I wanted to see if there's like something different, whether it be TaylorMade on there or Adidas or whatnot. I mean, his bag was still TaylorMade.
Yeah. And then you had Ryan French tweeting out like all of their, basically it's like the LIV Golf Tour, like scout seats.
Yeah. For that. Yeah. Right.
Inside the ropes, it's like $12,000.
Yeah. Right.
But he's like, there's a free carving station. So it's kind of like scout seats, you go before the game, you eat and then walk around. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's good for the game no matter what. I think it's only going to, help the PGA Tour in the long run, whatever they decide to do.
I agree with you.
So we are jumping right in, and we're going to break down the Southside Tour, PGA Tour Championship, and we're going to Balmoral route. Balmoral is flat out hard. That's the easiest way to put it.
I would have to agree with you. And it's a challenging course.
People hate it because it's hard. I mean, it's generally long. I mean, some holes are tight. It's just a long course that, I think people try to probably overpower it. Which, it's not an awful thing, but a lot of those greens there, if you get stuck in the wrong spot, you could easily be 4-putt. It's just, in my opinion, it's a great track. There has been some management change there prior to this year. So I'm interested to see what kind of shape the course is in. I've heard it has not been in great shape.
Do they still have the Will there?
The who? Yeah, they had the Will County. Heard from some of those guys. Yeah, the whole, I guess the whole management team left. You know,
Sure.
talking about the soup, everybody. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. But nonetheless, Balmoral has been a staple, especially if you're in the south suburbs. It's worth the 25-minute drive to go play there. The greens fees are usually like, an Indiana course or a Michigan course.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Very affordable.
Cheap.
Yep.
The course it's always in great shape, but it's, like I said, it's tough. It's long. A lot of trouble there in the back. If you're not careful, you could have a day there, and not a fun one.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of fun holes though. I mean, the routing of the course is great. Is it 10 that is that hard dog leg left that you're teeing above? It's kind of a blind shot that you got to lay up.
Yes.
I do. I enjoy that because that green is like tucked away, and you got to clear over the because it's a raised green. But yeah, I mean, I do enjoy that course. It is tough, but it's also, if you hit it straight, you should be good.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Greens are very tricky though. A lot of sneaky break at Balmoral. A lot of even if you're pin high, there's just a lot of knee knockers.
Yeah.
A lot of shit that snaps hard, 2-3 feet away. Below the hole is always good at Balmoral.
Yeah.
I still think Balmoral, one of the hardest holes there is, and I wonder what it is on the card. I would be curious to see it, but number 4, it's not like anything crazy. It plays up. That's one thing. Whatever you have in, it's always another club up. But the pin, if it's anywhere in the front, because it's kind of blind, you can't see.
Yep.
You can only see like the top of the flag.
Yep.
And that green goes hard left to right and like towards number 5.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I don't know what the handicap on that hole is, but that for some reason that hole gets a lot of people. And then the back, you kind of just got to manage your way through, stay out of trouble. And yeah, you're right. I mean, if you are hitting the ball pretty well there, staying in between, the woods there, then you'll be all right. And
yeah, you just gotta be smart off the tee, right?
Be very smart, very, some very targeted tee placement. And then it's really just strategic approach in, and being very happy with like 15, 20 footers uphill and just saying, okay, 2-putt and get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Where it almost gets boring, but
right.
In order for you to, stay out of, a big number, that's kind of what you got to do there.
I mean, I'll take boring golf all day long if you're gonna, shoot well and not get yourself in trouble that much,
Yeah, that's typically why I don't ever play very well. I'm not a boring golf guy. But yeah, so the second major of the year, got to play with the new assessor. Points are 1.5 times. Use the tee sheet, use Slack. Let's get some people out there. That opens up Saturday for the second major of the Southside Tour.
Yep.
And that brings us right in to the RBC Book It with T picks. Who do you like this week, Rob?
I did not even put any thought into it, to be honest with you. I see that. Is Rory playing?
Rory's playing.
He didn't do so hot this past weekend, though.
He's T's favorite this week, if that gives you anything.
Oh, is he?
He is.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll have to go with T. I mean, I don't want to go against T.
I mean, we should probably not go against T.
Yeah.
For the remainder of the year.
Right.
T's RBC picks: long shot, Hogard 100-1, Thigala 70-1, Vegas 65-1, Connors 22-1, and T's favorite Rory 9-1. And you could book it with T.
I kind of like that Thigala pick, dude. He played pretty good this past weekend. It was fun watching him yesterday finish up.
Yeah, I like his game. I like Connors too, though. 22-1. I like the skin on Thigala a lot, though. 70-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah,
I'm taking that right now, Rob.
You're taking Thigala?
Yes.
There you go. All right.
Yeah. So RBC, traditionally, it's always a pretty stacked field.
Yeah, I saw a couple guys couldn't get over, right, though. Cooch, I thought I saw, can't come over because of restrictions or something like that, and somebody else.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I think they're sponsored by RBC too or something like that.
Sucks. Oh, well, that's what I was saying about DJ. It was just kind of funny how that all went down. But anyhow, we're going to roll right into the top three, Rob. Are you ready for the top three?
I am ready for the top three.
Let's hear it.
All right. So this goes along with the trip that we just took. What are the three things you do when you're packing your golf bag for your trip? Like, is there certain things that you do to protect your clubs? Certain things that you need to have in there.
Oh yeah,
that deal thing.
So I know we did a similar one, but it was like prior to the night before playing. But I get where you're going with this. Trip wise, oh yeah. I mean, stuff's planned out, laid out.
Yeah.
Days in advance.
Right.
This wedding, I think I brought my suit to the cleaners on like Thursday. It's just crazy how,
your priorities were in the right place.
Priorities and what takes preference yes. So anyways, travel bag. So I go with it's like a hybrid. It's not a hard case. It's
right.
Soft, but I take the heads off. And then
okay. You're the second person I've heard say that. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. And then I stick them in the head covers. And then I even put those like in the big pouch. And then I wrap my irons with the 2 towels that I already have on my bag.
Sure.
And then also I've seen this happen where guys will put their shoes on the outside pouch of the travel bag, and those shoes don't make it. So
right.
Yeah, I put the shoes inside, lock everything up, ready to go. As far as travel, that's probably what happens with the clubs. That's in the 3-hole. Number 2 is probably got to make sure like the speaker's packed.
Yep.
All on course activities. Like there's a whole separate, display for that. So whatever that involves, the speaker, any kind of, games or, any extracurricular activities.
Sure. I get it.
And then number 1 would have to be the merch, the gear. What am I wearing on Thursday? What am I wearing Friday? What am I wearing? Sure. It's like you're on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, right. You're scripting out.
You pick out your outfit.
Yep.
So yeah, that would be my top 3. How about you?
Yeah, no, the reason I asked because I'm a little chapped a little bit, dude. I just unpacked the old travel bag and fucking Southwest bent the shit out of my bag. Oh, I'm not too happy. Like the guys we did the curve check-in here at Midway and gave the guy a tip, and he was the most gracious, like handle them like they're little babies. It was awesome. He was very appreciative. Got to Arizona perfectly fine. Go there, leave last night. Guy is just in a pissy mood, just tossing bags, just like not having any of it. And then, just unpacked before getting on the pod, and sure shit, the 2 legs are bent to shit on my bag. So not too happy about that. So that was
Southwest gotten an email yet?
Well, like I said, I just did it before the pod, so that'll be tomorrow for sure. Okay. And the thing that irritated me the most was when we were throwing our travel bags on the weight machine. The guy's like, we're not held responsible for, damage. And then me and Vince are looking at each other like, what do you mean you're not held responsible? Type deal thing.
Excuse.
Yeah. So I'm not too happy. So basically, I was trying to see how you pack clubs, for your trip. Cause that'd be my 3-hole, right? I got a no geo, like it's not a hard, it's a soft hybrid type deal thing. But, I had like 3 golf towels, wrap the heads around the irons, and then to the point where, and I put the rain. I mean, I know the rain cover doesn't do anything, but at least it would hold all the towels together type deal thing. And then, I stuck clothes on each side, right? To like form it out a little bit type stuff.
If it's the bag, dude, I mean, it seems like you packed completely right. It seems like they were just fucking throwing it in there.
Yeah, right. So that just frustrated me. But yeah, that's the 3-hole. My big thing is like the shoes, dude. What golf shoes are you wearing? You know, type deal thing. So I brought out the Jordan 1 lows, kept them in the box, and I'm glad I did because the box is beat to shit. So they literally were just tossing the bag like it was nothing. So that'd be 2. Make sure you had the right shoes, and then 1, the scripting. What are you gonna wear? Honorable mention, like you said, speakers, sunscreen, stuff like that. Make sure you have everything you need. But the other honorable mention is like how you're gonna get back the stuff that you buy from the pro shop, because the pro shop at at Greyhawk was awesome, dude. I literally could have bought everything in there. It was sick. They had so many hat options, and I'm such a hat guy. It was just like a kid in a candy store.
What'd you pick up?
I just went with, I love flat brim hats, but having a huge head, it's got to be the right style flat brim hat.
Same.
And, they all look good, right? And then you start trying them on, and it's like straight, like I had like a little bean head, but then like the straight brim, and it's just like yours right now. That's perfect.
It's all right? Well, I was going to say, so not to cut you off, I also bought a hat this weekend too from Beaches.
Oh, no shit. Nice.
It's awesome. It's not typically like my style, but I loved it. It's actually one of the rope. It's white.
Oh,
it's got a white rope.
Yep.
But then it's got like, a very subtle, like 2 clubs crossed.
Sure.
Anyways, it's all about the brim depth and width.
Yep.
Right. So I looked at it. I'm like, this is probably going to feel like shit. I threw it on and I was like, oh, this is money.
There you go. Yeah. So the hat I really wanted was the flat brim. And I thought it was going to look good, and I looked like a complete fucking idiot. And I even think the girl at the desk behind me was just laughing a little bit, like, no, that should not be the hat that you're wearing. So I ended up going with I don't do the rope hat, right? But I ended up getting a black one. They have this cool logo that they do, they stack it. Yeah. It's all the words spelled out, because I can't stand the hats that are the abbreviated hats. That's stupid to me. But it was like a kid in a candy store. But I got the hat I wanted, and I was happy about it. But they had awesome head covers and stuff like that. But that's the always honorable mention of what you're gonna buy when you're at these golf shops.
Right. Well, I'm happy as hell for you that you had a weekend there, Big Rob.
I appreciate it. I'm glad you got out twice, dude.
Yeah. We're working on it, man.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, Beaches is a great course. Hawks Head is awesome, but Beaches is just as good in my opinion.
Yeah, I had good company both rounds, and that honestly made it work. Like yesterday, if I didn't have the guys I played with, I would have been so miserable. But I just, I felt like I was, in a good place, like between the years. Mm-hmm. I just knew my golf game was shit because it's just been rust. But we had a good time. We had a lot of laughs. Like I said, we had a couple drinks. So, it was all around. It was a good weekend, Rob.
There you go.
So we're looking forward to next weekend. We got Kearney Central over here, Big Rob.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, babe. The St. Catherine's Fest.
Oh
yeah. Starts, I believe, Wednesday. So, nice. I mean, these guys had this thing set up like yesterday.
We got the Woodridge Jubilee, I think Father's Day week.
Okay.
Yeah, that's big out here too.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, the block's going to be hot all week. It basically, when the fest is here, it basically says summer, right? So
yeah, right.
Everybody's out and about. It'll be nice because it hasn't been around for the last 2 years. So
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be another good weekend. Weather looks pretty good, not crazy hot, not cold. So, it's going to be another weekend. Maybe I play golf. Maybe I don't. We'll see.
You're just in the pool. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to try to get out to Balmoral potentially Sunday or Monday, but we will see. That's to be determined. But
Southside, get your scores in by Friday.
That's right. Southside due by 9 p.m. And Big Rob, we'll see you in the fairway.
See you in the fairway, Tom.
See you, buddy.